Hello everyone, welcome to the third tutorial in our session 3, and we are still looking at how do we formulate and clarify research further. By now you would have come with one or few research questions. This tutorial covers two important topics. First one, how to write a research aim, and the second one, how to convert the research aim to research objectives. It's a short tutorial, and let's start with how do we look at the research aim. As the title suggests, research aim means what do you try to achieve from this research. So we have some questions. What is the overall purpose of the research? Why are we doing this research? Where will you do the research? In which organization or in which industry? What are you trying to achieve or explore? What are the concepts that you try to explore from this research? What do you expect to find from this research? And what decisions can be made in a business context? Who is the intended audience of the report? Is it the management of a particular company or is it the industry? How can they benefit from this research? So in our research aim, we try to address some of these questions and we try to elaborate on these questions so that anybody looking at the research aim will understand, okay, what is the researcher trying to do here? So to understand the research aim better, let's look at an example. Here is how you can convert your research question to the research aim. The first research question, does talent management have a positive or negative impact on employee turnover? Second research question, does different talent management practices have different impact on employee turnover? Yes, you're right. By now, you would have realized there are two concepts in these research questions. The first concept is talent management, and the second concept is employee turnover. Both research questions try to look at what type of impact or relationship talent management have on employee turnover. Now let's look at the research aim. If you see this example research aim, it says the aim of this research is to explore the relationship between talent management and employee turnover. The research aims to assess how talent management impacts on employee turnover in an industrial context, especially in the garment sector in Sri Lanka. So here, the research aim clearly says what is the relationship that you try to explore and in which context it is trying to explore these concepts. The findings of the research will help determine the role of employee talent management and whether it helps in reducing staff turnover at body line among the executive grade. Now we are more focused on the purpose of the research and whom are we doing this research amongst. We are doing the research amongst executive grade employees at body line. The ultimate aim of this research project is to use the recommendations to assist talent management and reduce employee turnover at body line. So clearly it says what are we planning to do with the results and what type of decisions we are trying to make. Although it doesn't mention clearly, the research report is aimed at the senior management at body line. Of course, you can mention that. Here are the questions that we asked in the previous slide, and you will see the overall purpose of the research is covered, where the research is being done. It's done at body line. What are you trying to achieve? it is trying to achieve the relationship between talent management and employee turnover, expected findings, how talent management impacts on employee performance, and they want to take decisions on future talent management practices. And then, who is the intended audience of the report? It's the management of Bodyline. And how can they benefit? They can use these research findings to look at their talent management practices and also how they could reduce employee turnover. So basically, this is what you write in a research aim. Okay, now you saw what the research aim is. Now let's look at the research objectives. When we look at research objectives, again the starting point is the research question. Now there are a few examples here where the research question has been converted to a research objective. If you look at the research questions, it is framed as a question with a question mark, but objectives generally start with the word to, because the objectives are to achieve something. In this example, there are 5 research questions. The research is about team briefings. There are various aspects of team briefings being questioned in the research question, and correspondingly they have given research objectives. Now let's look at an example for this. To make it simple, let's look at one research question. Does customer service have an impact on customer satisfaction? It's a very good research question relating to marketing. Here again, we have 2 concepts here. The first one is customer service and the other one is customer satisfaction. Now let's see how we can operationalize this research question with a couple of research objectives. Let's look at these research objectives. First one, to explore the concepts of customer service and customer satisfaction using existing literature and understand the relationship between the 2 concepts. So here the first objective talks about exploring current literature. This means by doing an effective literature review, you can achieve the first research objective, because we are trying to see what previous authors have said about customer service and customer satisfaction. Second research objective, to assess the impact of customer service on customer satisfaction amongst retail banking customers of Nations Trust Bank, Panadura branch. But when we look at customers, these are not customers, any customer, those who have been with the bank for more than 6 months. So if you see, research objectives are very specific, because if you meet a customer, you would know, can I interview this customer or is he not suitable for my research? The third research objective, to identify what customer service elements have the highest impact on customer satisfaction, again amongst retail banking customers of Nations Trust Bank, Panadura branch, again those who have been with the bank for more than 6 months. Why more than 6 months? To experience customer service and customer satisfaction. Customers need to be little experienced with the bank and the branch. Now you see here, one research question has been expanded to 3 research objectives. The first one is to look at the relationship of these two concepts in a more academic context or using existing literature. The second and the third objective, where you plan to do the research, that is at Nations Trust Bank Panadura branch, amongst customers. That's the research that you will conduct using questionnaires or focus groups going forward as a part of your research. So in this tutorial, we have discussed how to write the research aim and how to take the research question and convert it, operationalize it to research objectives.